Hello, my name's Martin Small and welcome to the last episode of Kitchen on the Cut. And today guys, we brought you up to Winnett's Pass. It's one of the highest points actually in the High Peak, and we just thought we'd finish the last episode up here just because it's one of my favourite places to come walking. So yeah, like I say, it's the last episode guys. It's been quite emotional. We've had a lot to deal with in this last few months making these episodes. One, I've become a father, and two, we've had the pandemic to deal with. So quite a lot of the filming has had to be done during lockdown, which hasn't been great because obviously we wanted to show you a few suppliers and get some great ingredients and do a lot more cooking on the boat than what we've done. But anyway guys, the good news is we're sort of coming out of lockdown. You know, the restrictions are being lifted day by day at the moment, so that's great. I've been back now at work for the last 4 weeks, so that's been fantastic. So anyway, like I say, this is going to be the last episode of this 5-part series that I've made, but after that we're going to be looking at doing a new series where we're going to be showing you a lot more foraging, a lot more meeting suppliers and a lot more cooking on the boat. Anyway, I will leave you for now and we'll have a little look around. What we want to do today is we want to make a nice dandelion jelly. Now yesterday I went out and I picked literally ½ kilo of dandelion heads. A nice meadow just down the way there. Went out, like I say, didn't take them all. We only took 10% of what was there, which equated to roughly ½ kilo. So we got the dandelion heads. We took off all the yellow parts, all the flowers basically, leaving the greens behind. So we just want the yellow parts of the flower on the dandelion. Then we steep them in water overnight. We just cover them with water overnight, steep them for 24 hours, and now we're just going to strain them off, and I'll show you how we're going to turn the dandelion tea into a nice jelly. Just tastes like honey, and you're going to really enjoy this if you get around to give it a go. Okay, so now we've made this dandelion tea. What we need to do is we need to strain the flower heads off, and obviously just separate the actual liquor or tea itself. So what I've taken is I've got some muslin cloth there. I tend to buy this cloth in every year. I use it to make my wines and make my jams with. It's absolutely brilliant for straining off. The ideal thing is it's quite a bit finer than a normal sieve, and obviously after it you can just throw it away once you're finished with it. So first of all we just need to take a ladle and just mix that mixture around just to make sure that we're getting maximum flavour out of this. And then all I'm going to do is just take a ladle and I'm just going to literally strain that out over onto the muslin. I'm just going to keep doing that until all the liquor or dandelion tea is strained off, and then we can measure out what we've got left and what we need to complete this recipe. Generally it's about roughly 4 cups of tea to 2 cups of sugar, 1.5 lemons, or juice of 1.5 lemons should I say, and then into that we're going to add some pectin, but not until we've once brought this up to the boil and added the sugar and the lemon juice. Then finally we add the pectin and then finally we can pour that into our kilner jar, and that is basically our jelly done. We can just chill that overnight, and then with the jelly we can show you its great uses. Like I say, it's very much like honey, and we have a nice little dessert in mind that's going to finish off this episode. So yeah, we'll show you that later on. But for now, guys, I'm going to carry on doing this, and then I'll show you exactly the next step to making our dandelion jelly. So back to the recipe anyway. We've now strained pretty much all the liquid off the dandelion heads. There is a little bit left in there. I just want to squeeze the final remaining bit out and put that into there. So that's that done. I've measured out the liquid. We've pretty much got nearly a litre of dandelion tea. Now that's not going to really work for my recipe that I've got, so I'm going to reduce this down. I'm going to take it down to 500 millilitres. So that's going to reduce down literally, probably we're looking at about 20 minutes to reduce that down to half basically. Once we've done that, then I'm just going to add the juice of 1.5 lemons, which I've already pre-cut and they're ready to go. Also what we need is sugar. Now this is granulated sugar. It's actually grown in Britain, produced by British farmers, so I like to try and keep it British as much as I possibly can, not just for the moment but in general. I think it's great to support the UK, so yeah, I like to keep it British if we can. So that's some granulated sugar we've got, and also what you'll need is some pectin. Now we're just going to use 12.5 grams of pectin, which is just half of this bag basically. Now, finding pectin at this time, this current climate, it's not that easy in the supermarkets, but there are some online shops out there still providing decent services. We had to wait a while for this, but it come in at roughly around £4.50, and that was with free postage. We've got the dandelions free, we got the water free pretty much. Obviously the lemons have cost us roughly about 45 pence, and the sugar £1. So roughly for just over £3, give or take, we're going to make a really nice jelly that's probably going to last us a couple of months, and we're going to be able to use it in a number of different recipes. So that's going to be great. Like I say, it's cost us next to nothing. And not only that, we enjoy making things from food that we've foraged on in and around the high peaks. So yeah, that's just a great little byproduct of living in an area that has a lot of countryside. So yeah, we look forward to showing you anyway. Okay, yeah, so I forgot to mention a bit of an equipment listing. What you're going to need to make this jelly is a copper pan, or any sort of saucepan. It doesn't have to be copper. I just like to use copper because it's ideal for making jams and jellies. Container, basically a steel container or plastic container, doesn't really matter, and that's just for steeping your dandelion heads in overnight. A muslin cloth, that's ideal for when we come to strain the tea off into our saucepan. So yeah, you need one of those. A ladle for ladling your tea out. It's not essential that, but it just helps, obviously, because there is quite a lot of weight in there. It's ½ kilo of dandelion heads all coming out at once. Can tend to drag the muslin back into the saucepan. So just by wrapping the muslin around the pan and just ladling it in gently, that's the method that I tend to use. One measuring cup. This is just a standard measuring cup. In America they tend to use a lot of cups for measuring things out, so yeah, that's what I'm going to be using to measure my sugar out. Pair of scissors, obviously just for opening packets, cutting off heads on dandelions, so always handy to have. They're a nice catering pair of scissors. And obviously the other part of equipment is the heat source. This is just an alcohol stove that we use on the boat. We just brought it from the boat. Again, it's just nice to be cooking on it, and it makes the video a bit more authentic, because this is how we would normally be doing it on the boat. unfortunately because of the virus we can't be on the boat. So anyway, we're here at home. And the final bit of equipment that you're going to need is a jar for your jelly. We've got a Kilner jar for this jelly to be stored in. So I've sterilised the Kilner jar with sterilising tablets, just Milton tablets, food safe. I've rinsed that out and I've just put the jar in the oven, and that's just going to be heating up. When we come to actually make the jelly and finish the jelly off, and actually add the jelly to the jar, with the jar being heated up in the oven, it helps to stop any cracking as we pour the hot liquid in. And don't forget about the seal also on the Kilner jar. We've basically put that into a bowl of hot water, and that will help create a nice seal when we actually come to put the jelly into the Kilner jar. Okay, so the jelly now is just bubbling away and we're pretty much there. The sugar's in, the lemon juice is in, obviously the dandelion tea. That's pretty much there now. We're going to take this off the heat, so we're going to knock the heat off and we're going to add our pectin and start pouring it into our Kilner jar. Alright, so into the syrup we've now added our pectin, so I'm just going to stir that in. You've just got to be a bit careful that it doesn't clump up. It's dissolving quite nicely that now. So that'll just take a little bit longer just to stir that in. Just be patient with it, it's worth it. It will stir in. So yeah, that's already starting to thicken slightly, which I'll show you in a minute. So like I say, you just want to make sure that there are no lumps. That is coming together perfectly. Honestly, the smell of this is just unreal. It's just, it's definitely honey all over. But no, it does have its own unique smell. But like I say, if I was to sort of compare it to anything, it does smell like honey. Which is going to lend itself to a lot of different recipes that we have in mind for this syrup, or this jelly should I say. So yes, we're just stirring that in now, and like I say, it won't be long. We'll be able to pour it into this jar and get it cooled down and start enjoying it. Right, for now guys, I'll speak to you in a bit. So that's pretty much the dandelion jelly now made. We're just going to now strain it through a small piece of muslin again. This is just to take out any sort of like lumps of pectin that may be in there, and also any sort of lemon seeds or any other bits and bobs that might have got in there while we're making it. So yeah, we're just going to strain this off. I've heated this jar up, as I say, it's just literally come out of the oven. It has been sterilised, so yeah, this is ideal, this Kilner jar for storing this. So we're just going to pour the jelly in now. The jelly's just going to come underneath the rim of the jar, which we don't mind, it doesn't need to be full. So yeah, we're just going to pour that in. Like I say, that's just caught a few of the bits of pectin that haven't dissolved. You don't want lumpy bits in there, so I'll just take that away. That's done with. So now the seal itself has just been in boiling water, so I'm just going to put that seal back onto the lid. Press the seal down. And that's it. So there we have it, our dandelion jelly, and it's pretty much all been made from British ingredients. I don't think there's an ingredient in there that hasn't come from Britain apart from the lemons, unfortunately. But everything else has come from the UK. Like I say, it's a nice little seasonal product. This we've made it, we've kept it local. Like I say, the dandelions are only sourced from a local meadow just over the road there. The sugar was grown in the UK, by British farmers. The pectin was also produced in the UK. Check the label on that. And like I say, the only thing that wasn't from the UK was the lemons, which obviously it's quite difficult to get around buying lemons from the UK because they're generally grown outside of the UK. Well, this is anyway. This is our dandelion jelly. Like I say, we've really enjoyed making this. It's been a real adventure. Today we're starting off our day with a dish called Lumpy Tums. Now we've come up with our own recipe for these Lumpy Tums. We have looked online and tried to get a recipe for these. It is quite a basic recipe. It is literally just oats and water cooked in milk and then served with either butter or golden syrup. Now today the dish that we're going to be doing, the way that we're going to be doing our Lumpy Tums, is we're going to be using some of our dandelion jelly that we cooked earlier on in this episode, and we're going to be using a bit of the dandelion jelly to bind the Lumpy Tums together. We just think it's going to be a great little addition to this dish, as it does taste quite similar to honey, and it's going to be packed full of vitamins. It's going to be a great boost for us during these times, because we still are in a pandemic, and we are trying to get as much vitamin C and nutrients. We're going to first of all take our oats. We've roughly got 125 grams worth of oats there. So yeah, nice oats. These are gluten free. I do tend to eat gluten free. I do have a bit of an intolerance towards wheat. So yeah, these are gluten free ones, so that's perfect. So we've also got some milk in there. That's just for poaching. We've got our dandelion jelly that I made previous in this episode. So we've got that there. That's lovely. And we're just going to add a couple of, well, we've got 4 figs there. We're just going to poach those with the Lumpy Tums at the same time. Again, just giving the dish a little bit of a different angle, and just adding a little bit of fruit into our diet. So yeah, we're really looking forward to trying this one. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to make our Lumpy Tums. So into our oats, we're just going to take literally 4 tablespoons of our dandelion jelly. Smells absolutely fantastic, this. Just smells like honey. I'm just going to add a couple more in than I said. I said 4, I've added 6. So we're just going to give that little stir around. It's coming together nicely, that. Doesn't want to be too wet, it wants to be quite dry. So we're just going to keep mixing that together. We're going to try and get this to bind together so that we can get what resembles a lumpy tum out of it. Just going to keep mixing that for a short period, and we'll come back to you in a minute and I'll show you the lumpy tums. So the mix is pretty much nearly there now. We've actually added another 2 tablespoons of the dandelion jelly into the mix. As you can see, it's just coming together now. It's just starting to bind together. So we're nearly there. We're going to start moulding our lumpy tums, and we're going to be getting the milk on in a second, and we're going to be cooking them. So first of all, I just want to literally just take an amount of my mixture, and I'm just literally pushing them into balls. They don't look pretty, but this is the old-fashioned way, and this is the way they used to make this dish. So yeah, I'm going with it. So like I say, we're just binding them together. Hopefully we should roughly get about 8 out of this mix, which is going to be perfect, because you don't want too much. At the end of the day, porridge is very filling anyway. But that dandelion jelly that we put into this mix is really helping sort of bind the yolk together, which is great, because I have found when using the water, it doesn't bind anywhere near as good as what this is. So this is working out perfectly at the moment. So that's number 4. So literally, yeah, I'm looking about 8 out of 125 grams of oats, and like I say, it's about roughly 6 tablespoons of the dandelion jelly. Now this has got sugar in it as well, so it'll help give us a little bit of an energy boost as well when we're out on our walk. I don't know if you've seen in the shops, they do like a protein ball. I suppose it's very similar to that really. But yeah, so we're nearly there now. Well, that's number 6 coming up, which is perfect. Like I say, we're just binding that together. Roughly, yeah, we're going to do it. We've got just about enough mix here now. So this is number 7. Put together nicely. Like I say, they don't look that pretty really, to be fair, but it is an old-fashioned dish, and this is what the farmers would make for themselves. So I've got my Lumpy Tums now. I've got my milk on. That's just starting to heat up slightly. Now I just want to take my figs and I'm just going to cut them in half. The reason I do this is just to sort of make them more sort of manageable, and it's perfect for basically this dish, as it's going to give me 8 slices, and I'm literally going to be able to eat my Lumpy Tums with a slice of this fig, and we're really going to enjoy this breakfast. It's a fantastic little dish, this. Like I say, they wouldn't have actually had figs back in the day, but I'm trying to bring this recipe up to date using forage foods that I processed myself, obviously during lockdown, and we're going to be now, like I say, creating this great little dish of Lumpy Tums. Now we're out of lockdown, well, we're starting to come out of lockdown, should I say. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to eating this dish, and just basically getting a bit of energy in myself ready for going out on a walk. That's nearly there now. Just going to get the last bit of the mix together. Just want to get the most out of these Lumpy Tums, the mix. Just trying to get the last little bit on now, and then we're nearly ready to start cooking these Lumpy Tums. Okay, so we have our 8 now, and that's perfect. Works out perfectly, just what I wanted. So if you join me back in about 5 minutes, once I've washed my hands, I'm going to get the milk on and we're going to get these Lumpy Tums on. So we've got our 8 Lumpy Tums now into our milk. Into the milk we've put our 8 slices of figs. That's just 4 dried figs, naturally dried, with no added sugars. So we've just got our 4 whole figs sliced up in with our Lumpy Tums, and that's just going to cook away for roughly 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how we feel. It's literally had 3 minutes now and it's already starting to sort of bubble. So I'm probably going to give it around roughly 10 minutes, and we're going to be enjoying these lovely Lumpy Tums. These Lumpy Tums are pretty much ready now, so we're going to be serving them up. First of all, I'm just going to take a piece of my fig. I'm just going to place that into the bowl. So I'm going to take my 8 slices of fig. I'm just going to arrange them. 8 slices of fig there now. So into that I'm just going to add my Lumpy Tums. Tell you what, these smell absolutely fantastic. They might not look great, but they smell fantastic. Just 2 more. This is a right breakfast. This is a perfect breakfast. This sort of living on a narrow boat and having before you go out on a walk. So I'm just going to finish it off with a little bit of milk now. Just going to drizzle the milk over that, and I'm just going to finish this off with a little bit of my golden syrup. So I know we've already got the sweetness coming through from the dandelion jelly that we put in earlier, but I think you just can't beat a little bit of golden syrup over a bit of porridge in the morning. So anyway guys, I'm going to enjoy this and get back to you in a second and let you know how I've got on with these Lumpy Tums. They look gorgeous, they smell gorgeous. Very similar to sort of a flapjack, to be fair. That dandelion jelly's really worked well in there. And the thick just works perfectly. And that's it! I'd like to say a last few sort of words on the end of the episode, really. Obviously we've had a lot to deal with during the last few sort of episodes with lockdown and obviously the birth of my son, but it's been really good. So basically next time we hopefully we see each other, I should be coming up with a new sort of 5-part series for you to have a look at. It's going to be like I say 5 episodes. We're going to be looking a lot more closely at sort of foraging in the better months, the summer months, bringing us into the winter months. So we're going to be showing you a lot more foraging. We're going to be doing a lot more cooking on the boat, and we're going to be meeting hopefully a lot more suppliers than what we've been able to meet recently. Obviously it's been very difficult with lockdown. So anyway guys, like I say, I appreciate all your sort of all your followings and all the support and comments that you've been giving throughout the episodes, and thank you for all the followers on Twitter. Thank you for all the Instagram followers, the Facebook followers, and everyone else that's supported us during making these episodes. It's been a great experience, and for now guys, that's it.